Hello and welcome to another World of Warships operation, this time the Hermes, one that I haven't shown before, but also as well in a ship that I haven't shown before, the Tier 6 Japanese battleship Fuso. As you can see, 6 turrets there, each with 2 guns on them. And we're turning on to the left here because we've got some incoming planes of which we need to down, or they'll send in a load more other planes. There we go. Taken care of. Well done, team. Not that I did much. I only shot the helm off. So, the Japanese line of battleships. One of my favourites, the third line that I ground out after the British and the American battleships. And of course, the line finishes with the Yamato, a fantastic ship. But I've always had a very big soft spot for the Japanese battleships because not the biggest guns, 380 if I remember correctly. No, 356. But loads of them with 12 guns there, and so for taking out destroyers and cruisers, all very handy. And then when it comes to the battleships, such as the sheer weight of lead that your broadside is chucking out, that you do tend to get some good results. So I enjoy playing it, even though it's a Tier 6 battleship. In fact, I go as far to say it's my favourite Tier 6 battleship. Because the British battleships are really just HE spammers, and the American battleships are far too slow to be enjoyable until they reach Tier 8. So all in all, quite good. Anyway, back to Hermes here. We've just fought off the flight of planes, and now we've got a cruiser and a DD on the starboard, on the port on the left that we've taken out, and now a cruiser and 2 DDs has turned up on the right on the starboard there. So we're going to take these guys out as well. We're just busy turning all the turrets. Not the fastest of turning turrets, so having to wait a bit. And then once these guys are all taken care of, then there's 4 battleships that we need to be broadsiding into. So that's what I'm looking forward to. That's why I'm kind of hanging back here, because I don't want those battleships hiding all behind that island there. I must make sure though that I'm not going to be left behind too much though. I don't want to be the sole recipient of all those battleships' attention, simply because they'll soon overwhelm me if all 4 of them start firing at us at the same time. So, team's doing well at the moment. We're all rendezvousing around the D7 mark, where we'll get some healing, so not too worried about damage. And yeah, switching into the armour piercing for those battleship broadsides. Let's see what sort of damage we can do, because even though I've sunk a ship, 3,000 points of damage so far in the first 4 minutes of the mission is quite poor. Here we go. Right, they're not moving too fast. No excuse. Let's see what damage we can do. Shots out. 9,000. Would have been nicer to have had a citadel. Let's see what the next salvo brings. Making sure I'm not going to run into the back of anybody whilst I'm keeping an eye out to my right here. Look, the Atlanta are playing in a division. It's quite a good idea, really. With all the fast firepower that they're able to do, the Atlanta doesn't have a smoke screen. So, a good idea, as long as they're not getting seen. Okay, I don't really want to go for that Nizer now because it'll be a waste of my shots. So trying to go for the turpits. Did I get it right? I was right that the Nizer now went down and 10,000. Okay. So the Scharnhorst is about to bite the bullet, so I might have to go for the Bayern here. Fairly slowly. Okay, gonna have to go back to the turpits. He's thundering along there, so I hope I've given enough lead. In fact, he may not survive. Yep, gone before my slow arcing shells can get there. Okay. Next we're going to rendezvous for that healing that I promised you in E7. But in the meantime we're going to get waves and waves of aircraft coming in and trying to take pot shots at us all. Interesting to see how many of the 50, if you look at the secondary tasks, how many of the 50 aircraft we're going to be destroying now. No anti-aircraft on this ship, no fighter planes, so just good old bog standard guns, which of course in World of Warships is not too concerned by these torpedoes, simply because we're going to go into the healing area now. Oh, more torpedoes. Can I dodge some of them? As I said, not too concerned. I have a leak there, but I can't avoid that. Uh-oh. Atlanta, did I leave some for you? I do apologise. Ah, there you go. Karma worked out. Nothing to feel guilty about. Right, almost already back to full health. Next wave, up there in A9, 10 is the Friedrich, and he's going to have 3 destroyers preempting him. Now we're going to go up the 6 line here, and so there's going to be lots of torpedoes coming in from the right. So what we need to do is basically watch out and shield the main battleship, the Ruan, make sure that she retains 50% of her health. Still disappointing on the damage, but you can only do what you can only do, and with guns that take 24-25 seconds to reload every time. Let's have a look. 28. It'd be nice to get a decent salvo in. One of the reasons why I'm hanging back here is to, one, keep an eye on the Alsace there that we're supposed to be protecting, but also as well I'm thinking of curling around. We're going to finish up in A4 and everybody's going to go up the 5-6 line to go and get there, but I'm actually thinking, because we're going to get waves of ships coming in down the A, B and C rows on the mini-map, I'm actually thinking of going along the D line there and getting into their broadsides. But first things first, we must deal with what we've got in front of us, and that's these destroyers and that German battleship. So let's take care of that. That's all 3 of the destroyers gone now, so it's just the battleship, but the battleship does have 36,000 of its health left. Turning to the left, let's see how we go. Showing a full broadside to that Friedrich, but because I'm not detected, because he's in that smoke, I'm not too worried about it. Right, okay. Let's go down that D line. See what damage I can do. Well, I've done much already, but the team has done quite well itself. All of us are still alive, and most of us have got a kill, with the exception of the Flint, which is surprising. Still, here we go. We're going to have 3 cruisers come in down the sea line there. So let's see what broadsides we can get. I promised you these 357mm caliber guns were quite good at broadside, so let's see if I was speaking the truth. Shots out. One ricochet. Fantastic. Doesn't seem to be my day at the moment. Let's see if anything changes. Okay, they've spotted me. Let's see what I can do back to them. Look at that, no citadels at all, even though I've had 32 hits. Okay. Next time, chin up. Ooh. Please, 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 we need to take care of that aircraft carrier. You'll see in the secondary task that destroy aircraft carrier Adler. It's one of our things that we need to do. Oh my word. Gave too much lead. Being jinxed. Jinked by an aircraft carrier. How embarrassing. See if I can do that this time. Well, this time you can't jink us simply because there you go. A little bit better. Couldn't jink us that time because I actually aimed at the ship instead of ahead of the ship because I could see how slow it was going. Try that same trick. 14,000 health. Nice to have had the kill, but never mind. At least I think we're going to do it. Whee! Not wasting our shots, that's quite good. Still only done 58,000 damage. But the York is showing us a broadside. Let's see what happens. Very underwhelming. Hey, decent stuff at last. Am I going to break 100,000 though? That's the sign of a decent game. Correct. Nope. Didn't get the 100,000, but still. Not too bad a game. 2 medals there. Sea Star and Tactical Expertise. 4th in the team. 1,082. Yeah. Wasn't really being focused. It's just a shame that I couldn't do any more damage on top of it. Still. Anywho. Right. Thank you very much. See you on the next one.